Hello, my name is Sylvia. Over the past few months, I've reached out about 200 premium fitness studios to research and understand the quality of their services via SMS or WhatsApp, whether it was a human or an automated answer. Unfortunately, I didn't have what I personally consider a good experience or a premium experience, considering that's what these studios aim to offer. Perhaps I tried to make contact at a bad time. Perhaps responding to text messages isn't a priority for these studios. Nevertheless, I wanted to show a bit of that experience and how these studios present themselves to a potential client. No sales pitch in this video, no judgments, no blaming anyone at the studio. In fact, I even hid the business names because the intention here isn't to expose anyone, but rather to present the problem and the solution. I'll start with this one here that I've texted for the first time on July 16. I haven't heard back. Then 7 days later, July 23rd, I sent a follow-up message. Still didn't hear anything. And note that when I sent this message, I was asking specifically about their programs. And that means I was warm and I was truly interested on what their core product or service is, which I would call a warm lead. And then another 4 days or 5 days go by and I sent another follow-up message to which they finally respond. But not on the same day, because if you see, this was a Monday and then I got an answer on Tuesday. They asked for my name. They asked how they could help. I replied. And then we stayed on that conversation that didn't take us anywhere. And at some point, this channel and this conversation just died out. And we never touched base, and that potential client is gone. Let me go to another example here. This one, I texted July 23rd. They replied at the same day. Within a 10-minute window, I said I was interested in their programs, which means I am warm and I'm ready to be convinced to buy. And I never heard back. I even followed up again, but never heard back from them. I'm going to bring up another example, similar, July 17. Did a follow-up on 23rd. I followed up at almost 2 p.m., heard back past 5 p.m. I didn't reply again, and I never got a follow-up message. And I'm just going to bring another one here. Reached out to them on July 16. Took me 7 days waiting. Did a follow-up on the 23rd. Never heard back. Sent another follow-up a few days later. And then I got an answer that seemed to be an automated answer telling me that they just take one-on-one private classes, but didn't even ask what I was interested at. Like those, I have probably another 100 examples, and I don't think it's necessary to show all of them here. Now, let me show you the contrast. And this is how a premium concierge service works when no other task has to be put aside. Here is an AI agent that is trained to support premium fitness studios in its full action. Let's start the same way we started with the other studios. I'm just going to say hi. Hi. Here I got an immediate message. It's not 5 minutes later, it's not 8 hours later, it's not 1 day later, it's immediate. And it's already asking for my name. It introduced itself, told me what's the studio, the name of whoever is helping me, and asking for my name. I'm not going to give my name just yet. I'm going to try to beat it on the butt a little bit here and ask about classes. Even though I'm going to say I haven't trained in years, very out of shape. So let's see how this AI will handle that. So telling me good place to start, going back to asking for my name. So it means it wants to personalize this conversation, right? I'm going to just tell my name, Sylvia, and see how it will then use it. So here already called me by my name, welcomed me to the studio, and now it's asking for very specific needs that I might have. And now it's asking me if I know the programs or the studio or even specific needs that I have. So let's say that I have a friend that has introduced me because they are a member. I'd like to schedule a trial class. So let's see. Okay, it's telling me recommendations is a big thing for them. It's even asking for the name of the friend I mentioned. Let me put here an aleatory name, Julia Sell, just to see what they will do with that. So now, they already called my friend by name here, and they are saying they will thank her next time they see her in the studio. That's awesome because this is creating connection and this is making it very personal. Now it's asking if there is something specific because I said I was coming back after being out of shape. I'm going to say I need something that is lower impact and Pilates for beginners. And note that I misspelled Pilates because I want to see if that's going to make this AI alienate. But no, it's still focused and it's still giving me the information that seems to make sense. Reformer Foundation is a 50-minute class, lower intensity, so level 2 out of 5, appropriate for the condition I just shared with it. So it's asking if I want to try this, and I'll say, yes, this is kind of what I asked, right? So sounds good to me. And now it is telling me what classes are available this week. And let's push this system a little bit harder. I don't see anything today, so I'm gonna see if they have availabilities today. And it's gonna check because it's connected to the database. And so checked the database, saw there was a case cancellation, and offered me a 5 p.m. class tonight. To which I'm gonna say, yes, it works. That was what I asked for. So let's say that works. And voila. We are booked at 5 p.m. today, Reformer Foundation with Camila. So I know who's going to be my coach for that class, and it's done. But I'm going to push this a little harder because as a client, I also want to know about prices. So let's see. I want to know about the pricing, and let's see what's going to bring. Here, again, it's checking the database and bringing back all the knowledge built in this system and telling me all the packages that we have available. Even telling me that I do not necessarily need to commit to a membership, but I can have individual classes for $65 each. I want to challenge this AI to a small objection to the price. So let's say, this is more than I expected. And let's see. So here is an important thing. It's not fighting me back. It is creating rapport. When it says, I hear you, but let me offer you a different perspective, it is then breaking down the numbers to help me realize that if I go to a membership, individual classes price come down to $25 instead of a $65 of an individual class. It goes even further because it tells me that I can have a complimentary trial class of my choice and is still a complimentary 15-minute infrared sauna for recovery. And obviously, this is customizable. This depends on the studio policies and what you have to offer. But that is how you start to lock in them without giving any chance for them to go check somewhere else. So I'm just going to say, yes, this is lovely. Yes, of course. And let's get this. So now that I've been offered a trial class, let me choose one of them. And because we're saying I want an intro program more suited for my coming back situation, I'm going to pick this Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Reformer class. That's what we discussed before. So here it is. I'm booked. It's already asking if it should book my sauna, and I'm going to say yes, of course. Who doesn't want free stuff? And so it's just confirming and giving me a summary of what we just discussed. Look at this. It's going even further. It's offering to remind me of this class and asking if I want to be reminded. And I'm going to say, oh my God, yes. Are you for real? You have a reminder the day before your class, but I want to push it a little bit harder. Wait, am I talking to a bot or a person or a bot? I am the exclusive concierge. Do I sound like a bot? And what I want to tell you here is that we added this hint of humor because why not? So I'm going to say, yes, a little bit. I mean, let's see how it will react to that. Aha, you caught me. You were right, I am a bot, and I handle most of the online interactions. And I want to call your attention to this phrase, most of the interactions. It's because AI will not have all the answers all the time. We're going to be training it as we go. But there will be moments where prospects will ask questions that are not in our database. And that's the moment where we drive those conversations to a real person, being that person you or an assistant or a front desk. But the intention here is that 9% of all questions and inquiries will be responded by AI. So this proved the point. I'm going to just finish this chat and say thank you for your help. And we're good here. So thank you. Let's just leave the chat. Bye-bye. It's enough. Another thing is that even at the very end, it's being personal. Take care, Sylvia. Bye for now. And that's the major difference between what you saw before and what you're seeing here. And I want to go back to that part where I asked if that was a real person or a bot. And I did that obviously on purpose because receiving automated service is becoming increasingly common these days. And what you just saw is a sincere response handled without deflecting and without pretending. Your members won't mind receiving high quality automated service designed with them in mind. What they will mind is a lack of attention or a failure to respond. And now before I finish all of this, just a quick background on me. I am a doctorate student specializing in AI and consumer behavior, and I build AI-driven customer service automation systems. These systems handle reservations, scheduling, rescheduling, cancellations, and they also respond to every incoming message the moment it arrives, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So let me put this into a business perspective using your language rather than mine. There are 3 critical factors that influence customer conversion rates nowadays. The number one is conversion itself. In every studio I have worked with in the past, the leads that have been answered within a 5-minute window converted 4 times more than the ones answered the next day. The number 2 is class fill rate. When your best slot is full and a prospecting client is not offered the alternative slot, you lost that lead. They most certainly will book somewhere else. And number 3 is retention. First contact sets the expectation for the whole membership. If it takes 12 days to get a line back before they even become a client, what assumptions are they making about your customer care service after they become a client? Now, here's the part that really matters. What you're seeing here is a generic version of an AI concierge created for a studio that doesn't even exist. Your system would know your real class schedule. It would know your instructors by name and teaching style. It would know your membership plans, promotions, cancellation deadlines, and waitlist policies. And it would log reservations directly into Mindbody, Marriott Attack, Moments, or whatever platform you use. What you've just seen is only the basics. The sky is the limit for what can be done with AI. I hope this gives you some insights and helps you in your business. Thank you for watching this video. Take care and bye for now.